You do love me. You really do.
Of course, darling. You're my flesh and blood, my pride and joy, my very own beautiful daughter. I can't tell you how horrified I was when I got wind of Julian's insane scheme to break up you and Louise.
Really?
I was livid. I can't imagine how you felt at your brother's betrayal.
I'm so confused. I even thought that the two of you had planned it together.
You wound me deeply, darling.
I know. And I'm sorry. But now I know better. It's just that when it was happening, it brought back all those feelings I had after Mother died. And I felt so alone, like no one would ever love me again.
You poor dear. Will you ever be able to forgive your father for being so neglectful? It's a pitiable excuse, I know, but I was too busy nursing my own grief over your mother's death to realize how much you needed me. But that's water under the bridge. I know better now, and I'm home. You'll never be alone again.
Once I marry Louise, I'll have both of you. That's probably Louise.
You can talk to him later, darling. There's so much I still want to tell you.
Oh, well, maybe you're out in the garden.
Just let me tell him that you're back. I mean, wait till he hears that you've given us your blessing.
His blessing? More like his curse. Father's going to destroy Louise and Sheridan before they ever get close to saying their I do's.
Okay, well, I'll see you soon. I love you.
What's the rush, dear? Give your poor old father some long overdue one-on-one time with his precious little girl.
Thank God Father's baited the hook. Now all he has to do is reel her in before Louise gets to her.
I have waited my whole life to hear you say you love me.
I'm sorry it took so long, darling. It wasn't that I didn't feel it. I simply didn't realize how important it was to say it or show it. Thank God I learned otherwise before I lost you for good.
Father, there's something I want to ask you. It's about my marriage to Louise.
What is it, dear?
All my life I've dreamed of having my father walk me down the aisle when I get married. Now that you're home, would you consider it?
Nothing would make me prouder. I'm only sorry I don't know your Luis very well. I'd love to be able to convince him we Cranes had nothing to do with his father's disappearance.
If only you could. And that would be the most incredible wedding gift to me. If you two could just shake hands and put the past behind you.
All in good time, my dear.
All right, here it comes. This is where Father gets Sheridan to agree not to marry Louise.
Unfortunately, time is one thing we don't. Louise and I are getting married right away.
Oh, dear. Well, there goes my surprise.
What surprise?
I might as well tell you now. It was silly, I suppose, just an old man's fantasy about making up for lost time. I had my heart set on the two of us taking a little jaunt to Europe. Just you and me, together for a long-deserved time alone. If only I'd asked before you set the date. I had such dreams of the two of us touring Provence together. There's so many places I'd love to show you.
It sounds wonderful, Father, but Louise and I are getting married in a few days.
It's just that I'm not getting any younger, and who knows when or if we'll ever have an opportunity like this again. Sheridan, dear, there's a small church outside Paris I wanted to show you in particular. It's where your mother first let me kiss her when we started courting.
Really?
I think of her every day. I try not to, but it seems the longer she's gone, the more I miss her. You remind me so much of her. We'd only be gone a week or two. Oh, what am I saying? Your wedding is far more important than keeping an old man company. I was just hoping this little pre-wedding trip might help make up for all the time we've lost. We could fly to Paris tonight.
I want to marry Louise right away. I hate to just spend one night away from him, and so many people would be disappointed if I postponed the wedding.
Of course.
But what you're offering me, this is something that I have dreamed of my entire life. You and me spending time together like other fathers and daughters, getting to know one another.
Too little, too late, I'm afraid.
It means so much to me that you even want to do that. I've been hearing what you said about how much Mother meant to you, and how you would have spent more time with me as a child, but I reminded you so much of her. Oh, and now you're flying home after Julian pulled this awful stunt.
Come to Europe with me, sweetheart. Postpone your marriage to Luis for a couple of weeks, or maybe just a little longer.
No, Father. I'm not going away with you.
But I wanted it to be my pre-wedding gift.
It's not necessary. You've just given me the best wedding present I could ever have. Now I finally know who you are and what you think of me, and what a fool I've been to want your love. I was so desperate for it that I almost fell for your pack of lies.
Lies? What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, don't deny it! I mean, you must have this cottage wired. You must have heard me tell Luis that I would give anything to have you walk through that door and tell me that you love me. And gee, what a coincidence. That's exactly what you did. You walked in here and you took me in your arms and you told me that you loved me. You're disgusting.
Sweetheart, you couldn't be more wrong. I do love you with all my heart. I thought this trip would be the answer to both our prayers.
Only yours? Only the one that you have of destroying Luis and me. You know, I didn't think anyone could stoop lower than Julian with his imposter scheme. But you, Father, you just took the prize for playing dirty. And by the way, I know Julian didn't come up with that on his own because he doesn't do anything without your permission. So once again, you've failed. So you can just go back to Europe or wherever it is you spend your time making money and just...
You'll listen to me, young lady, and you listen well. You will never marry that snooping low-life policeman from the wrong side of the tracks.
Sheridan!
Please.
Everything okay in here?
Sheridan and I are fine. Can't answer for him.
You two have never met my father, have you?
Only on the phone.
Father, I would like you to meet the man I'm going to marry, and our good friend Hank.
That was some performance, Mr. Crane. I've met a few sleazy people in my life, but you definitely take the cake.
I don't have to stand here and take this.
No. You're not going anywhere until I'm through with you. You're a loser.
I hardly think so, officer. I'm one of the wealthiest, most powerful...
Losers in the world! I wish I would have had the opportunity to have met Sheridan's mother. She must have been a very special person. Your daughter bears no resemblance to you whatsoever. Furthermore, you don't know the first thing about her. She is a special, generous, and beautiful person. And she's got more courage in her little finger than you will ever know. And that's why I'm the luckiest man in the world. Because I'll be marrying her in a few days. And that's why you're the sorriest. She's got nothing to say about it from here on in.
I can't keep you away if you insist upon coming to the wedding. But I'm sure you'll understand why I would like to walk down the aisle by myself. It's painfully obvious that you don't approve of this marriage, and I'm not going to start my life with Luis with lies.
You think you know everything about me, Sheridan. But do you honestly believe you know everything about yourself?
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't listen to him. Just a sore loser trying to get in the last word.
Think what you like.
Goodbye, Father.
I'll make the coffee.
You okay?
It hurts to know for sure now that my father never loved me. But at the same time, I was able to get past some old ghosts. Now I know nothing will ever come between us. Nothing.